A well-written script and plot make for a great movie. However, films can be impactful pieces of art not because of the dialogue and story, but because of the way the story is told through film form. In looking at movies, film form is the way a story is told with cinematic language. In other words, film form is how the story is successfully portrayed even without the use of dialogue. Located at number 1 in the AFI's 100 Greatest Movies of All Time, Citizen Kane, from 1941, directed by Orson Welles, portrays a great artistic control over its film form. Welles, along with talented cinematographer Greg Toland, made use of chiaroscuro and deep focus photography to present one of the film's themes: the difference between love and power. Chiaroscuro is a technique that was commonly used in Renaissance paintings to create contrast through light and dark shading. The technique creates a three-dimensional quality in images on a two-dimensional plane. In film, it works the same way. Oftentimes, the light contrast can be very dramatic and can create a suspenseful atmosphere. Deep focus photography, also called deep focus shot, is a technique used to keep the entire frame in focus. Or in other words, a deep focus shot includes foreground, middle ground, and extreme background objects, all in focus. This type of shot is used to create an impression of a fully realized, detailed layer world. A prominent theme in this film is love. However, Kane constantly confuses love for power or money. As his parents gave him away to a bank in his early childhood, it appears that Charles Foster Kane never truly learned what love was. In turn, money governed his young years, so he uses money and power to try to govern others.
Always used money to buy things.
Chiaroscuro is used to show Kane's power over Susan. Despite the fact that his wife is miserable and humiliated over her singing, Kane disregards his wife's feelings to prove himself. His power over Susan is portrayed as Kane's deep shadow overtakes Susan. In turn, we see her shrink and become quiet as he orders her to continue singing. A great display of deep focus technique to convey theme is found in the first two consecutive scenes in Xanadu. At first, Kane is standing next to Susan as she builds her puzzle. As he walks towards the back, the chimney appears to get larger than what it originally was. This displays the greatness of the palace that he built for Susan. Despite his wife's obvious unhappiness, Kane stands proudly in front of the elaborate and enormous monument. The next scene shows Susan building a puzzle again, while Kane walks towards the back of the frame. He sits in a large chair, and the frame shows the colossal size of the living area. It also shows the colossal emptiness. Susan and Kane are on complete opposite grounds, and shouting to be able to hear each other. This not only shows their physical distance, but also their metaphorical distance as husband and wife. They are surrounded by luxury, but are empty inside. In the process of filming Citizen Kane, Welles collaborated with many talented artists at the time to create the final product. His collaboration with Greg Toland was major because he taught Welles the basics and importance of cinematography. Welles even stated, "It's impossible to say how much I owe to Greg." So important was Toland's work to Welles that they shared their title card in the end credits. Greg Toland is also known for his cinematography work in Wuthering Heights, The Grapes of Wrath, and The Best Years of Our Lives. He won an Oscar for Best Cinematography in his work on Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights gives a glimpse of Toland's use of chiaroscuro and deep focus shots. Chiaroscuro is seen early on in the film as a guest enters Mrs. Cathy's abandoned room. Only a candlelight shines in the middle of all the darkness, which contributes to the scene's eerie atmosphere. Deep focus and chiaroscuro can also be observed later on as Heathcliff listens in on Cathy's conversation. Heathcliff is in the foreground in darkness, while Cathy is under full light in the background. The deep focus allows the audience to see Heathcliff's sorrow and Cathy's indifference simultaneously. The darkness over Heathcliff also serves to show how Cathy can easily cast him away, and the sudden lightning adds a dramatic touch to portray how Heathcliff has been emotionally struck.